Hey, hi, hello. It's the LaSala Show, episode 88. Today, my guest is Sadney. Sadney, how say you?
I am good.
It's nice to have you on the show. Festival International in Lafayette, Louisiana just wrapped up. You were a major part of that. Has your hangover kind of mellowed out?
um, I Major is a strong word. I'm still getting in there. I am definitely decompressing from the weekend. It was a crazy event filled weekend. But I had work Monday morning and just making it through the week and have another show this weekend. So it just never stops really, and that's the life I love. So I can't complain.
Yeah, and you just had an album come out. Tell
Yes.
people where they can find that.
So I just had an album release on all streaming platforms. So anywhere you listen to music, it's probably there. YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Deezer, all the
God damn
things.
right.
I think there's 22 platforms that it's uploaded to right now.
How much of a relief was it to finally just release it?
Huge. It's been done for about 6 months. I've been sitting on it and promoting it and working on stuff around it for the last 6 months. It feels like a weight off my shoulders to finally have it out so people can listen to it. I've been like what's the word I'm looking for? Teasing with it for a while. I've had some like private links out to let people listen to for a while. But it's really cool for it to be accessible on all platforms now, and it's already hit at 500 streams um, since Thursday.
Fucking
So
right.
that's
Nice.
pretty cool.
That is
Yeah,
exciting.
and that's
So,
just Spotify. On SoundCloud, it's like at 5,000.
damn. So,
Yeah.
how far back did you start your musical journey to where now that you're just streaming on all these platforms? Like, when did you start?
Um, so I mean, if you watch home videos from when I was a kid, there's literally home videos of me sitting at the piano at like 4 years old trying to play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. But that transpired into turning into like doing choir and theater in elementary and high school, and then when I joined my first band right when I graduated high school in 2014, and it's kind of just been going like up and up since then. I put my first song out on all streaming platforms in 2020. I finally met a producer that was able to help me get some stuff recorded, and the next couple of years after that I bought my own recording equipment and started recording myself. And then this past June I started making my own instrumentals to go along with my vocals that I was writing, because I was before then just buying instrumentals from producers. Um,
Okay.
so I have 6 albums out total, but my first 5 albums um, were all YouTube beats or beats from producers. And then this past album that I just dropped Thursday is all produced by me completely. So I made
Wow.
every instrumental on that album.
I didn't know that. So that makes it even more special. That's like,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, and your
It's the first project I've put out that is like mine completely.
right.
The only thing that I didn't do for this record is mix it. Like I got an audio engineer, like a professional engineer, to mix and master everything for me, so that the sound quality would be professional sounding.
Right. Well, it sounds
Yeah.
amazing. Everybody go listen to it. And we were lucky enough to snag her and put her in our band, Passenger 11. What has it been like joining a band? You said you were in another one before?
I was in other ones, but the past bands that I have been in have been pretty amateur. um Working with people younger than me, or like it was their first band, and then I feel really grateful to be a part of of in what's the word I'm looking for, musicians. I feel really grateful to be a part of musicians who were like very dedicated and serious and have a lot of experience under their belts already. Like y'all are super tight. Like I know that that y'all we put in a lot of practice together, and a lot of the practices I'm not there for, and that y'all work on for just instrumentals. But it shows how much work is put in whenever we perform, because it's so together and so tight, and um I don't know, the genre that we're doing is really up my alley too. I think the past bands I've been in, my first band, I was in a swamp pop band. I was like the only like girl, and which I'm the only girl now, but I was the only girl, and it was like some men in their 50s, and I was 18, and I was singing swamp pop music, which is like cool but not really me. And that was for a
Man,
little while.
you seem like you would have a great voice for that too. Like
Yeah,
you could
it was fun.
really make people go wild, I bet.
Yeah, it was fun. It was cool. We played in like a lot of biker bars and stuff,
Nice.
because the guys in the band were like connected to biker clubs, so we got invited to play at a lot of biker bars. But it was a cool way to start out my career. And then the last band I played in, we did a lot of rock heavy stuff. So like we were taking Sadney songs, but like turning them into like heavy rock songs, which was cool, but really not my genre of choice.
Right.
Um, so doing what we're doing now is really fun, and feels like it's the most like my vocal style than any other group I've been with.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear it. We're so happy to have you. And
Yeah, and I know that I've been a little I've had some rough times in the past couple months, and I haven't always been the most reliable to show up, but for
uh,
practices. But I always show up for the
just
shows and
show up
give it
for the
my all.
shows and deliver. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
You're like you get the Michael Jordan treatment. Just show up to the game and you're gonna get your 20, 30 points.
Yeah.
All right, so I have some dumb, ridiculous questions that also I want to know the answers to. Wow, that's a tongue
Okay.
twister. Have you ever quit or been fired dramatically from a job?
Um, yes.
When was it?
Yes. New Orleans Daiquiris fired me.
Oh, nice. Okay,
Pretty
how did this go
dramatically.
down?
Um, they kind of had it out. This one manager who I think I was 25 when I was working that job. It was like during COVID, and one of the managers had it out for me and this coworker that were like best friends, and the manager was really young, and she just had a lot of drama, and I
Mm.
was about to quit, and then she came in one day and like she said that we were stealing. We definitely weren't stealing. She like set us up in the computer, like left a overage in the drawer, and then so we like rang in extra stuff to make up for the overage, which
Okay,
is not policy. You're supposed to just give the manager the overage, but we didn't want them to think that we were messing up, so we rang in extra drinks to make up for the overage, and then they said we stole it.
right.
So it's whatever.
It
It
does look a
was
little
it was
shady.
a terrible job.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like
It
you
looks bad. I know it, and I know I from their side it did look bad, but I mean that's just what happened.
welcome. How old were you?
23, 24,
Yeah,
25, some around there. Well, it was in 2020, so I was probably 24.
good times.
Yeah.
You've never like had like nasty like on the site quit like throw your apron down kind of thing.
No, I did like there was a job that I quit um where I was working for an ABA center that was really overwhelming, and I just called in one morning and was like, "Hey, I'm never coming back."
Yeah, call outs are great. They're classic.
Yeah. I just called, and then I wasn't like there and like didn't like was like, "Oh, I'm done." It was more like a,
Right.
"Hey, I can't come and I'm never coming."
Oh, the worst is if you get called in and they just fire you. It's like, man, you could have just sent me an email
Oh
or
my
a
God,
text.
something happened like that. Oh my God, the more we talk about it, the more I'm realizing that I have more stories where this happened.
There's
One of the
nightmares.
Yeah, there when I worked at Toasted Yolk, they fired me without giving me an explanation, and just took me off the schedule and didn't tell me. So I called and was like, "Hey, do I still need to come?" And they were like, "No." You don't have to come. I was like, so if I would have come, y'all would have just told me that I'm fired. Like, was it anybody just not was gonna tell me?
Wow.
And they fired me because I couldn't work weekends and I could only no, I could only work weekends and not weekdays.
Yep. That's a killer.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a killer in the restaurant industry.
yeah.
Have you ever been in a fist fight?
Yes.
Okay. How recent was this?
This was pretty long ago too. Well, once me and my twin sister have fist fought before.
I thought I
Well,
did. Oh, I thought I. Okay, I'm not crazy. I thought I saw you on Facebook. You know, it's like people you may know or whatever. And I was scrolling past. I was like, wait, that looks like Sydney. Okay, I kept going. I was like, oh, my bad.
yeah, I have a twin.
That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah, so we have fist fought before in high school on video. There was like a video of it at a
Dang.
party of me and my twin sister fist fighting.
World
Um,
stars. Sadney.
and then what? And then one time when I was working at New Orleans Daiquiris, a girl tried to fight me and my best friend coworker. They got fired together through the drive-through window.
Wow. That is
Yeah, so some swings, some punches got swung through the drive-through window before I just shut the window and was like, "Y'all gotta go." My
wait,
friend
you
was like,
were
"Let's go outside." I was like, "We're at our job. They're gonna get in trouble, not us."
wow. So you were working the window and they were trying to fight you through the window.
Yeah, because the bar was
That's
closed inside. The bar was closed inside, and because it was COVID, and they ordered a bunch of drinks, and they didn't want to pay for them, and they were trying to just take the drinks, and we were like, no, we told you how much they'd be. We told you there were upcharges for these premium drinks. You're not gonna get the drinks if you don't pay for them, and so they tried to start fighting with us, and they like dropped a bunch of money on the ground trying to like fight with us, like in the process. So like
nice.
after they left, we went outside, and there was like a bunch of 20s on the ground.
Perfect. Perfect. Win-win.
Yeah.
Um, how would you describe yourself to a police sketch artist?
Oh, myself?
Yeah, I saw you.
That's
You got yourself and your new boy toy there painted together. It looks really
yeah.
great. I'm wondering how you
Yeah.
describe yourself, not or maybe just to the audio listener.
I think a good I think a good description is like I am um a little heavy set goth girl. Like looking wise, like like dark hair, um dark brows, dark lipstick, green eyes.
Okay, yeah,
Like
pretty
alternative
accurate.
alternative chick.
Yeah, I can see that. All
Yeah.
right. Were you a goth girl in high school, like super hardcore?
No.
Oh,
If you
really?
saw pictures of me in high school, you'd be like, "What the hell?" I had blonde hair.
Wow. So you waited to
My natural hair
bloom.
color is pretty blonde. And I've been dyeing it black since like 2013.
So do you think you distinguish yourself from your sister in that way? Because she's blonde, right?
Yeah, I think yeah, at a certain point we both started to like pick our like choose our own styles. If you look at us, we have similar tattoos placements, even though they're like different what they are. So I think it's just like which is funny because like I say I'm alternative and goth, but I wear a lot of bright clothes now. In the past year, I started a new job and started to having wear bright clothes for work, and now it's like trickling into my wardrobe of like wanting to wear bright colors. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I always liked the twin thing and like liked looking like my sister. And she was like, we could be in high school and we wore uniforms, but like if we had a t-shirt day where we could wear different t-shirts, she would walk in and she would walk downstairs and if she I was wearing the same shirt as her on a t-shirt day, she'd make me go change it. Like
Okay.
so it was more like her trying to be different and then um at a certain point I just accepted that we weren't gonna look alike and I started to have my own style and I don't know where like the alternativeness came in. I think like in 2016 when I started to like do drugs
Right. Gotta.
heavily it started to like I started to look darker and wear darker clothes and get heavily tattooed and well, I started getting heavily tattooed when I stopped doing the heavy drugs, and it was my outlet to not do drugs.
Very common. Very common.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pain threshold. Got to chase it.
Yeah.
What was your worst gig that you've ever had?
Oh my God, there was you know where Shane's Mac Bar is now? It used to be
Yes,
Poets.
yes, yes.
It was Poets for a little while,
Right
and
by
before that it was
Domino's,
something.
yeah.
Yeah. Or like the right next to Domino's, yeah, like that place across from I don't know, it doesn't really matter the venue, but I was like 18 and I got really, really drunk. I think that the reason why it's my worst gig is because I'm embarrassed. I was so embarrassed by how like my performance was on stage, but it was a big learning curve for me because it only took one time of me being really drunk on stage and embarrassing myself to say I'd never want to do that again, and like really controlling how much I drank before. Like on Thursday, I didn't have a single drink before until after we performed.
Right.
Um, just because I want to be my best self on stage, and maybe I might have like a shot or something, but I never get drunk or tipsy before performing anymore because of that back in the day. And then I'd say like another like really disappointing gig was I did this it was supposed to be like a family fun day thing at Gator Cove a while back, like a couple years ago, but when it was still Gator Cove, I don't know what it is now. But there was a family fun day, and I waited around all day. Like I showed up at the place at like 9:30, and I was supposed to perform at like 3 p.m. And I stayed all day and watched all the performers, and like there was a big crowd for everybody. And then they ended up pushing me back to like 6:30 at night,
Damn.
and like it was like I got on stage and they were like everybody was leaving and the people working were like picking up the decorations
Oh
while I was on
no.
stage,
Oh,
and they were like I literally cried on stage. I was like, what the hell
oh my
happened? Like
God.
how can it was just really disrespectful. Like they could have at least like the workers could have sat in the crowd. Like they could have acted like they wanted to see me or something, but they were like picking up the cord, turning off lights, like they were like wrapping it up, and I was on stage. I had just gotten on stage, so it
Just
was like a
keeping the
slap in the
trash
face.
around you. That's
Yeah,
terrible.
and
Yeah.
I think it was a gig that I agreed to do for free too. So like it was like
That's
really a slap in the face. I was like, why did I spend all day here to perform for nobody and no money?
yeah. That's a gut punch.
Yeah.
Well, onward and upward for our shows. All right, we're not going to let those kind
Yes.
of things happen to us. We're going to get a manager who's going to handle things for us, really lay down the law.
Cool.
I don't know. We'll see.
Let them do the texting. Let them do the
Oh,
texting to other bands.
exactly. A couple more, then I'll get you out of here. How do you like your grilled cheese, and will you have it with mayonnaise?
Mayonnaise. I've never done mayonnaise. I have done ultimate grilled cheese, garlic bread, like garlic bread out the freezer.
Yes.
Um, and you cook the garlic bread to where it's like cooked enough, and then a grilled cheese like different fancy cheeses. Like Havarti is good on a grilled cheese.
Ooh,
But like I'm okay with like a normal ass grilled cheese, like just two pieces of white bread and a lot of butter. But I've never had mayo on a grilled cheese.
all right. Put it on your bucket
I'll
list.
put I'll put minced garlic on a grilled cheese though if I don't have like garlic bread. I'll like
Okay.
either put garlic powder or like minced garlic out the fridge in like the jar on my grilled cheese.
Yeah, I feel like garlic. There's a few of the things where if you add it to any dish, all of a sudden it tastes very expensive.
Yeah.
Like, oh, like just grilled what are those green onions that you chop up?
Yeah.
People call chives. I call them green onions. Just if you splatter that onto a dish, all of a sudden it's just like, ooh, it's like a
Yeah,
$10 dish
enhances
at
it.
least.
It enhances it. I also will do my dad makes this like sweet and spicy mustard. Like it's like almost like a honey mustard, but it's like not as sweet and a little spicy. I'll put that on my grilled cheese sometimes too.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. So your dad cooks a bunch of crawfish. Shout him out.
Yeah. Shout out Paco at the Atmosphere.
The
Um,
biggest crawfish in town.
the biggest best crawfish in town.
And you grew up
You,
learning to cook from him or what?
yeah, absolutely. Um, my whole life has been centered around like watching my dad cook at the stove, and for growing up he cooked dinner rice and gravy every single night, and was made sure that I sat there and watched him do it, and I can hear him saying like, well, one day I'm not going to be here, and you can't call me to ask me how to cook this, because
Damn.
like I literally this past week I cooked it like sausage and tomato gravy, and which is like so easy to make, but like I had never made it myself. I'd seen him do it 1,000 times, but I just called him and was like, "Hey, can you just give me a rundown real quick of what like the recipe for it?" And he was like, "One day I'm not gonna be here. You better
Uh,
write it down."
Dude, that's very dark, man. Every time you make that from now on, it's gonna be like, God damn it, this is like some grief food.
Yeah, some Greek food. Yeah, but there's he wants to help him. I want to help him make a recipe book. We have a family of chefs. My great grandfather owned Paco's and Rain, which was like um a very popular, like famous biscuit place, biscuit and drip coffee and Rain. Like if I talk to any old people, like well, like all the old people from this area, I could be like, "You remember Paco's? That's my grandfather," and they're like, "All those biscuits."
Wow,
And like my dad's the only one with the family recipe for the biscuits. But we have like a big box full of recipes from generations and generations of people.
nice.
So I'd love to help him make a cookbook with that one day.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right, last couple for you. What do you think of when you see somebody doing karate in the park? Is it funny to you?
Yeah.
When you think about like image, think about it in your head, close your eyes, and think
Okay.
about just like some random dude like doing karate by himself in the park.
I'll be like, oh, he's one of those guys.
A cool guy, right? He's like the coolest guy.
Yeah. I'd be like, oh, he's one of those guys, like those adults who do karate.
Yeah. And he's like super serious about it, and he's just like locked in,
Locked in doing
doesn't
karate.
give a
I think
fuck what's
it
going
I
on
think it
around him.
would I don't know. I think he's pretty quirky probably. I'd be like, that dude can probably fight.
Oh, okay, all right. I don't know why I thought of that, but it made me burst into laughter earlier. Just the idea of someone going to the park, doing
Just to do
karate, and
karate.
then going back home and being like,
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty funny.
"Fucking killed it today."
Yeah, dude. That was a good match. And we just
Um,
fight there.
I I don't know, stupid idea. Do you have any exotic pets?
um, no.
Never.
Uh never. I had a snake at one time.
Okay.
I have had a snake. I had a little ball python when I lived in Florida. Um, but I didn't like feeding it. It
Yeah.
was
The mice
the mice, yeah.
is a deal
It
breaker.
yeah. And then like sometimes it would like bite me when it was trying to get the mice. Like,
Fuck that. I
we're
have a
not.
frog, and my frog tried to bite me yesterday when I was trying to clean his tank, and I was like, "Ah, excuse me, sir." That was the first time he had ever done that. I was like, "No, I'm
A
not biting."
frog is cool. I think I would get a frog.
Yeah, he's like the size of my fist. I mean, this dude.
Whoa, can you hold him and stuff?
Oh yeah, he'll climb up
You like
your
hang
arm.
out with him?
Yeah.
Is he a toad or like a?
No, he's a tree frog, an Australian tree frog.
That's crazy. I need
Yeah,
to see him.
he's a very friendly guy.
That's cool. Now
Yeah.
I want a frog. I bet you Brownie would try to eat him though.
Oh, they're very
My
friendly with
dog.
other pets. Yeah. They jumped on my cat one time. It was. Would you rather go to jail for 10 years or you go to jail for 15 years, but you get all major holidays at your house?
10 years total. No holidays.
No holidays, you
Or
just leave.
15 years holidays.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess 15 years holidays. Only 5 more years to be able to have holidays.
All right. So you're a very big holiday person.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
I just like, um, yeah. And I think like 10 years in jail with no day out versus like every now and then getting a day out just for like 5 more years is a good
Yeah, I guess I should have made it 20 years. Then it really makes it a harder conundrum.
double the time. See, I think if it was 20 years, I would have just did 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I know your threshold now. I'm writing these down. All right. Have you ever been out to eat and the server has a server shadow? Like they're like, I'm Jessica, this is Becky, she's
Yeah.
shadowing me tonight. Isn't that awkward?
I think that if I have never been a waitress for 10 years, that it would be awkward. But because I've worked the waitress position for so long and just know that that's like part of the shit, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next question. Is if have you ever been a
Yeah.
server? I've done it as well, and it is mortifying. I fucking hate it. And I'm
Yeah.
always taller than the person that's serving, so I just look like this fucking like
It is
serving is
awkward
never
whenever you are
great.
the shadow. The shadow. I think it's more awkward to be the shadow than to be at the table
Right.
that the shadow's at.
Yeah, they
Like
don't give
being
a
the
fuck.
shadow following around is so awkward and like I waited tables I waited tables for so long. I think I started like waiting table. I started working in restaurants when I was 16. By the time I was 17, they let me wait tables. And then like so like anytime I'd get a new job and like I'd have to shadow somebody, it'd be super uncomfortable because like I already know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like I don't
And
have
like you're
to
walking
follow.
around and you're doing the air motion of grabbing straws and putting them in your little belt
Yeah, or like
there,
wanting to do more than the person that's training me is doing, and like
doing
trying
all
to
their
not to
side work for them and
yeah,
shit.
trying not to overstep their like table and like be an asshole on the first day. Like I don't know. That's yeah, shadowing is so awkward.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
smoke cigarettes, right?
yeah,
How do you feel about that?
they're gross.
You don't want to
They're so
quit?
gross. Oh well, I'm pretty much. I say that I say yes. I smoke cigarettes, but I still have one on occasion when I'm drinking. But like, I'm mostly a vape person now.
Okay.
I smoked. There was a time in my life where I smoked like 2 packs a day, like when I was like
Damn.
in my early 20s. Like it was crazy. But um, when I started doing massage therapy in 2020, I was like, man, I really don't want to go out and smoke a cigarette and then come to my next client smelling like smoke
Yes.
and my hands smelling so gross, like being on people's faces. You can wash your hands and they smell like smoke still. So that really was the biggest thing to make me quit smoking. I think that I'd rather a cigarette than a vape when I really get down to like the feeling of it. But I'm so addicted to nicotine now that it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
I'll enjoy my little vape at 3 a.m. when I'm half asleep.
Yep. Same here. I got it by my pillow, right by my pillow. I'm like, good
Yeah,
night.
wake up, have a sleep.
Yeah. And then turn back over.
Yeah,
Oh, it's so
yeah,
terrible for us. It's like, have you
it's
ever
so
seen the
terrible.
popcorn lung thing where it's like
Yeah,
irreversible or some shit?
there was
I'm
this show
convinced.
that I watched. There was this show I watched a while back about like the future, and like it was about like the afterlife, like in the future. Like they would like upload your head to a cloud or what, like
Your
um
consciousness.
your consciousness to a cloud or whatever. But everybody was like dying of like vape use. Like they were like it was like all the old people all had like issues in their lungs and stuff and like chronic illnesses from vape use. Um that was like really interesting. Like take like I wonder if in the future we're all gonna be like old in the hospital being like, damn those vapes got us.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of sad. Every time I hit it, I think about that. But then I reinforced my thought by saying, never mind. They're gonna have replacement lungs for everybody by then.
Right.
They'll have it all figured
I
out.
want to be a robot. We'll have a robot lungs by then.
Yeah. So you really think that could happen? Because I was actually looking, now that we're talking about that, I was looking up certain things about how long until we have this.
Yeah.
Because I saw something about the first Uber tax or Uber helicopter in New York. And I was like, Jesus Christ. It's
That's
almost
crazy.
here to where it's going to be, I mean, like in 10 years, that's going to be like nothing.
Yeah.
What are
Yeah.
some other things that you're looking forward to that you know are inevitable?
I really like this might be crazy, but like I think that the like holographic glasses or like holograms in general, like the Neuralink thing is
Right.
kind of cool. Like being able to see things that other people can't see that we're like doing that they say is
Swiping
going
and
to be real.
grabbing.
Swiping, Neuralink, do this. Do I want a brain chip? I don't know. That's kind of scary to think about. But if everybody's doing it, I probably will.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't want to be the one left behind, and
Right. Right.
you go to
I
a
use
job
I,
interview.
I use an Apple Watch. I use ChatGPT. Like we might AI is like terrible, but like you gotta go with the flow or you're gonna get left behind, you know?
It sucks, but it's
Yeah.
inevitable.
And like the AI debate is interesting. Like I know you didn't even ask me about it, but um somebody was talking about the other day, like whenever people started the printing press, people were saying it was gonna like ruin the environment and um I think the bigger issue with AI is like the big corporations using AI, not like single individual users like people like us. I think it's like major big corporations that are using it that is causing the more of the um, what's the word? The crisis um, of what it's doing to the planet. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right. Yeah.
But
I was
every new technology, there's an issue with what it's going to do to the planet.
right. Yeah. And it's inevitable and no one can stop it. So stop bitching
Yeah,
about it. That's what I
yeah,
feel.
yeah,
I mean, it does suck having to always think now, hey, wait, is that AI? Like anytime you see something of Trump and it's just like, wait, is that AI? Like I've been
yeah.
fooled a few times about, just random shit, but
I
I
think
don't
the
know.
first one that really got me was the cats jumping on the trampoline.
Mm,
You see that
yeah.
one?
Oh, I thought that
I,
was
s-
real. Fuck.
I sent it to a bunch of people. I was like, look at these cats, they're jumping on the trampoline. And somebody was like, dude, that's AI. And I was like,
Oh,
no, it
fuck.
got me.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of, what is on your Instagram Discover page if you were to pull it up right now?
um well, recently I'm in a new relationship, so a lot of like I love my boyfriend posts
Uh,
um and like those things. But also a lot of like drug memes, like dark drug use, heavy drug use memes because I'm like
uh,
in recovery. So like I find humor in
right.
making fun of morbid drug use, I guess. Um, there's a lot of dark humor stuff on my For You page, I think.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, so and like music, new like I have a lot of discover new artist stuff on my For You page
Nice.
because I'm constantly like adding up and coming like low um like I add a lot of like up and coming artists off of like the explore page to try to gain fans from their fan base, I guess, because like if we are like mutuals, then their fan base will see my stuff, and then if they like my stuff because our stuff is similar, they
Right.
might follow me. So just
Yeah.
like an
Cross
algorithm thing.
cross networking. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Are there any bands that you'd never want to cross network with again?
Let's not talk about it.
But not not anyone in particular, but do you have any instances where people have come off rude and dramatic?
Yeah. I mean, I think that the more popularity you gain, the more that your name gets out there, there are going to be more people who don't like you, right? And there'll be more people who have bad attitudes. And I mean, I dealt with a situation literally last night of a person I thought was my friend, who that I heard I heard from someone else they were talking about me, so I confronted the situation, and that person is also a musician, and I was like, "Do you really want to burn this bridge over you talking about me? Like, I'm coming to you to talk about it." To make sure we're okay and to address it. But the way they responded was that they quite literally said that they were jealous of my life and
Wow.
that yeah that they were jealous of my life and that they had a lot of resentments towards me because they constantly compared themselves to me and they don't think they can be my friend. And I
Wow.
was like, that's painful and kind of weird. Um,
And some part
I
of you
feel.
is just like, nah, that's kind of badass.
Hey, give me 1 second. 1 second.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, I'm wondering if anyone ever secretly thinks, God, I wish I was Jesse LaSala, the host
Hey,
of
one
the
second,
Jesse
Jesse.
LaSala show. All right, Sadney, sorry. I was talking to myself.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
Are we
everything
almost
okay?
done?
Oh yeah, yeah. Are you
Okay,
okay
cool.
over there?
Yeah,
What happened?
someone's at my door.
Oh shit, yeah, we can wrap it up. Thank you so much for being on the show. Everybody go listen on Spotify, Apple, anytime, anywhere you get your music. Um, Thanks for joining me and go tend to your
Yeah.
business. Somebody might be
Thank
dying.
you. Somebody's dying from not getting a massage.
And until next time, don't die.